let us talk about another feature or a pertinent factor about the database. This pertinent factor is diminishing data value. What is this diminishing data value? This diminishing data value is that value of data diminishes as they age. जैसे जैसे data पुराना होता जाता है, then the value of this data diminishes, goes down. This is something known as principle of diminishing data value. Why? Because we will be having certain blind spots. What is this blind spot? Is lack of data availability of 30 days or longer inhibit peak performance. If we are not having data more than 30 days, then it will be difficult to understand the trend. Similarly, global financial services institutions rely on near real-time data for peak performance. So you have to maintain a huge data and volatile data, which has to be updated on a concurrent basis. If it is not happening, then the value will go down, it will diminish, and the database will not be of any use. So we have to manage it. Okay, what is this management? We have to strike a balance between the two factors. One, whenever you will be having huge data in the database, processing will slow down. But if you are not having entire data, which will become huge data, then predictions and analysis will be incomplete. So how much data, up to what extent data should be maintained? Here we have a principle of 90 by 90 use. As high as 90% data is seldom accessed after 90 days, except for auditing purpose. Even you can understand that if you have not used some data which you have stored in your mobile for 3 months, then the probability is that you will not be in need of that data for the next 3 months also. So this is something known as 90 by 90. Roughly 90% of data lose most of their value after 3 months. So we have to understand the kind of data we must store and the kind of data we may send to archive or we may destroy that data is something we need to understand. So the relevant issue is principle of data in context. The data which I need in this context should be made available to me. Only then I will be able to come to a quality decision with efficient processing. So the capability to capture, process, format and distribute the data in near real time or faster requires a huge investment in data architecture. Why? Because you need huge storage space, you need huge processing capability and communication capacity. The investment can be justified on the principle that data must be integrated, processed, analyzed and formatted into what? Actionable information. If the data is not in a position to help me to take a decision, if it is not actionable, then it is of no use for me. So we have something known as data life cycle. Let's understand this data life cycle, how it works. Data life cycle starts with data source. The place, the way in which I am in a position to get a data is the data source and a database. So I may have something like internal data, I may have something like external data. Internal data which is being generated internally within the organization, external data which is being captured from external sources. So internal and external, and then this internal and external data will go to data warehouse. Okay. This data which will go to data warehouse will based on personal expertise and judgment of the person who has created this system to capture the database. Okay. Now after this, what is happening? From data source to data storage. The next step is data storage. So this data storage is happening in data warehouses. After this, what is happening? We are creating something known as data marts. A smaller segment of the data warehouse, data marts. Why? So that we may analyze it efficiently. What is happening? What kind of analysis is happening? OLAP, online analytics processing, queries, EIS, executive information systems, DSS, decision support systems, and for all such things we may also be doing something known as data mining. So from data storage to data analysis. Now after this, we are moving towards results. What kind of results we may have? Data visualization. What is this data visualization? We'll be discussing in greater details, but right now for your immediate understanding, data visualization is graphical presentation of data with the help of which you are in a position to understand it in a better fashion. Decision support, knowledge and its management. So in the last chapter, we have already seen, friends, that we have knowledge work systems, management information systems, executive support systems and decision support systems. They will deliver such kind of results. So this will be done with the help of various business applications, will be used, applied and updated by various business applications like supply chain management, SCM, CRM, customer relationship management, e-commerce, for strategizing and for other such systems. So friends, this is data life cycle. This data life cycle will keep on happening, means the data will keep on augmenting, increasing, updated with the help of few files. I have already shared with you: bit, byte, field, record, file, database. So for any database we have files and data entities. Records, fields, they are also being termed as data entities. So what are the data entities? They are the objects, events, phenomenon about which data is stored in a database. So whatever is being stored in the database is something known as data entity, and this data entity will be stored in the database management systems with the help of some master reference file, so that we may retrieve this as and when we need. Master data now presents the business objects which are agreed on and shared across the enterprise. Commonly confused with the reference data, information that is key to the operations of a business. It is also can cover transactional, unstructured, analytical and hierarchical and meta data one by one. Okay, let's understand. Master data is something which will be maintained by the organization and which is not that much volatile. It will keep on changing, but will be having certain master files which will not change easily. Okay, the thing which we have already studied in the cost accounting, like fixed cost and variable cost and semi-variable cost. So when we say fixed cost, it doesn't mean it's fixed. It will also change, but over a period of time, it will remain fixed. So the master data, where everything being stored, master file, where something which is being stored will not easily change. So master data represents the business objects. What kind of business objective we have? On the basis of that, we are storing data. commonly confused with reference data. So it's not reference data, but it's master data. What is reference data? Reference data is information that is key to operations. My operations will depend upon the reference data. For this decision making, I want to know only this much. That much which I need to know may be a part of master data, maybe a very small part of master data. Master data comprises every bit of data, every piece of information, everything about the organization. But reference data is only partial data which I need right now for operations. It also can cover transactional, unstructured, analytical and hierarchical metadata. Metadata means what? Metadata means the way we define the data. This is metadata. While master data is often non-transactional in nature, it is not limited to non-transactional data and often supports transactional processes and operations. So, master data by and large is non-transactional but will always support the transactions and may be about customers, products, employees, materials, supplier, vendors, and may also cover like sales, document and aggregated sales. This is something, a diagram which is in a position to show us the database management system. So, we have something known as enterprise data. Within the enterprise data, we have master data which is not volatile. So, master data describes the enterprise's business entities upon which transactions are done and the dimensions like customer, product, suppliers, account, site around which analysis is required to be done. This is master data. Now, with the help of this master data, we do something like transaction. So, this is transactional data and on the basis of two like master data and the data generated by the transactional data, we will do something like analysis. So, we have something like analytical data. Analytical data supports decision making and planning. So, in this manner friends, we have enterprise data and within enterprise data, we have transactional data, master data and analytical data.